2023 was the year I said, F it, I'm gonna travel the world. 2023 was the best year of my life. It was the year I figured out exactly what I want to do with my life. Not only do I want to make YouTube videos, but I also want to travel the world and make YouTube videos. I went overseas for my first ever time. I'm at the Sydney City Center right now. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm trying to hike up a mountain. I got to see the Northern Lights. Well, kinda. I got my eyebrows shaved off at a random barber shop in Turkey. And yet I still regularly shave it because I think it's cool, I guess. January. Yeah, I didn't really do anything in January. I acted. And acting was something that I kinda liked, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, there is something that I'm more passionate about than acting. Acting was great and all, but I was like, there is something out there that I like better. February came around. Oh, that's what I did in February. I went to New York for my first ever time. New York City. I got like a $25 plane ticket, round trip plane ticket to NYC. So I was like, screw it, let's go. Freezing cold, but it was definitely worth the experience. March, I acted, I traveled, you know. I traveled to different cities to act. I was just acting a lot. April, what did I do April? I didn't travel at all in it. I did a lot of truck driving in April, that's what I did. So I traveled a lot in April from truck driving, but I was like, there's still something that I like better. But I still truck drove because it was a way to make money and it was kind of fun. May, I went to Vegas. I took a day trip to Vegas and that was the month I told myself I'm traveling the world. No, it wasn't. It was the month I told myself, you know what? I don't care about acting anymore. Now, I'll probably eventually get back into acting, but right now, no, I'd rather not. And I had a blast there, even though I was just there for like 5 hours. You know, I went on like a 6-mile walk to the airport from the city. There was a storm brewing, which is rare in Vegas. I got my passport in May as well, but June came around. And I remember I was door-dashing one day in June. And I was just like, I have my passport and I already booked my flight for November, but November was kind of far, you know, and I was like, bro, I could go to Europe tomorrow if I wanted to. Even today. Why don't I look up flights to Europe this summer? I don't care the price. I don't care any of that. Let's just go. I'm gonna do it. So later that night, I looked at flights, found the cheapest flight. It was the only flight that was triple digits. Still mad expensive. In June, I also went to Canada with family. That was a lot of fun. You know, I went to Toronto, I went to Marineland, I went to Niagara. I also went to Canada in December. It was freezing, but there were like no tourists. So it was kind of nice. Summertime, it was warm, but it was full of tourists. I went to Dublin, Ireland. And boy, oh boy, it was a freaking blast. I went on a trip that honestly it definitely changed my life in a way. It told me, this is what I want to do with my life. This is exactly what I want to do with my life. I want to travel the world and make YouTube videos off of it. Not only did I go to Ireland, but I decided to go down to Spain as well. This was like my first country that I went to where people didn't really know English very much. And it was interesting. I thought I knew a lot of Spanish because I was on Duolingo for about 1.5 years before this. I barely knew a thing. Like, I could barely even say hola. I made lots of new friends on that Spain trip. Really, it was my first ever time overseas. I didn't know what to expect. I was nervous, but super excited. But yeah, it was definitely a life-changing experience because I did so much. You know, I went to the Pink Lagoon in Spain. That was wild. I didn't realize that existed a month before I went to Spain.
I'm literally floating.
It was such a surreal experience.
I'm shaking!
But all that made me want to do is travel more. So August, I didn't travel in August. Okay. September, I did travel. I found a really cheap flight from NYC to Oslo. So I was like, you know what? We going to Oslo. So we went to Oslo. Norway is a very, very, very beautiful country. NYC is a beautiful city as well. I went when it was hot outside too, which was nice. And it definitely gave me a better perspective on NYC. Because of the weather, I was freezing and I didn't really like NYC very much for my first impressions. But my second time I went there, it was pretty awesome. I lost my phone on the train. I left my phone at the last stop. I just got on the bus. Wait, no, it wasn't on the train. It was at a train stop. But my phone fell out of my pocket as I was getting up. So I gotta go back while I was on the metro, so I had to turn back around, and I hated that at the time, but I look back at it, I'm like, that was me. That was me. I had lots of positives and negatives. Truly has been the worst night. Not only on that trip, but on all these travels, you know what I mean? Also went to Turkey, I went to Istanbul, which is easily one of my favorite countries. There's no way I'm here. That was beautiful. I got a good taste of Middle Eastern culture, Middle Eastern food. I'm telling you this when I say this right now, Middle Eastern culture and food is my favorite. My absolute favorite. There's nothing that I like more than Middle Eastern culture and the food. The people are so friendly, so kind. I also went to Romania, which is currently my least favorite country, but I do hope to go back soon because I wasn't there for that long. But I also went back to Norway too, hiked up this awesome mountain. Truly, I felt so free and I felt so good deep down inside. And then I started getting more addicted to traveling. So October, I went to Colombia. Which is one of my favorite countries still. Latin culture is awesome. It was definitely my most dangerous country I went to this year, but it was definitely one of my favorites. Culture there is beautiful, the people there are beautiful. There were a couple bad apples out there. I really hope to go back, you know. Medellin was awesome. I also went paragliding. Paragliding was so fun. Paragliding was so much fun. I definitely hope to go paragliding again this year, in which I probably will. It was my first time in South America too. November came around and I went on another trip. Yes, I went to lots of countries. I landed in Spain. Spain is one of my favorite countries as well. Top 3, you know, along with Turkey and Colombia. Spain has a big place in my heart. I love Spain. The people there are awesome. The country is beautiful. It's affordable. The language is beautiful. I went to Andorra, in which is easily the most underrated country I've been to in my life. No one talks about it. I mean, it's such a tiny, tiny, tiny little country. Sandwiched in between Spain and France. It's so beautiful. The mountains were beautiful. The people were beautiful. Everything was just beautiful. You know, it was affordable too. It was a little cold, but the landscape just makes up for that. It's a whole country, but it feels like a small town. I think this is very underrated. Probably the most underrated country I've been to yet. I went to the countryside of France too, and boy oh boy was it beautiful. I've heard so much good about the countryside of France, and so when I went there I was expecting a lot, and I got a lot of the countryside. This is awesome, dude, look at this! I slept in a UFO, you know, that was crazy. I still have yet to go to Paris. Hope to go there this year actually. Yeah, and then after that I went to Portugal literally just for one night. And then went back to Spain. I also went to Gibraltar, in which I didn't even realize was a country until I went there. Well, it's not a country, it's a British territory. This isn't a country. There's a difference, trust me. It was a British territory, so everyone spoke English. I didn't even realize that it was not in Spain until I got to the border of Gibraltar and Spain and realized, oh my god, I'm getting my passport stamped. And then I realized, wait, this is not in Spain. I hiked the Rock of Gibraltar, obviously. Gibraltar was so beautiful. I might actually want to retire there. You know, weather there is perfect too. There's always a cloud on top of that rock. It's like a simulation. It's wild. You know, I went to the deep, deep, deep down in the countryside in Spain. That was beautiful. I saw the most beautiful sunset I've seen in my life. Literally, my life in Spain.
Oh my fucking god!
I have it on camera right now. I've seen many beautiful sunsets in my life, but that was the most beautiful. You know, and then I took a plane to Italy. I went to Rome for my first time. I saw the Coliseum. I saw the fountain. You know, I ate the pizza. I ate the pasta. I ate lots of food, the cannolis, the gelato. I also went to Italy with a few different friends too. Some of them I have never met in my life. Some of them I have from all over the world too. It was literally amazing. Shout out to all my friends that I stayed with at the Airbnb too. It was so awesome, and I hope to have another experience like that again. I also went to an amusement park. And then 2 weeks after that trip, I went back to Europe. I went to Iceland, the safest country in the world, because I found another cheap flight. Boy oh boy was it cold. And boy oh boy was the sun out 2 hours a day. More like 4. It was cold. It was expensive, but it was beautiful. Safest country in the world too. You know, I even got to see the Northern Lights. Whoa! There it is! That was it? Well, kinda. I mean, I did see him, but it was very, very, very dim. It was so dim I couldn't even take a selfie of me with the Northern Lights. But better luck next time, alright? And then I went to Poland, which was my 16th country, aka my last country I went to in 2023. Not a lot happened in Poland because, well, It's Poland. The cranes were really cool. The pierogi, or however you pronounce it, was really, really good. The snow was beautiful. I felt like I was in a winter wonderland. It was just cloudy, literally 24/7. Although I went to Poland in the middle of winter and it was very gloomy outside, it was still beautiful. You know, I went to the beach. Look at this. I saw a lot of cool things. You know, I got some dope drone shots both in Iceland and Poland. So in conclusion, I went to 15 different countries this year. 13 of them were new. The other 2 that were not new were USA and Canada. And I hope to hit country number 40 2024. That is my goal. I am going all around Europe, maybe Central and South America as well this year. And of course, you guys are coming along with me. 2023 was the best year of my life. Many more trips and memories to come. So if you're new here, make sure to subscribe, obviously. My goal is to hit every single country on this planet. Next video is going to be my Brazil vlog, so stay tuned for that. I'll see you guys in Brazil.